Hey y'all, Kate here from Love Story, and today I'm here to do an original tag created by Joanna, and a whole bunch of us are going to be doing it. Joanna, and of course myself, Abby from Abby Salter Books, Pete for Ponderings with Pete, Charmaine, Gregory Le Perch, Lyra Bratt, and Redwood Wine. I'll put all of their channels down below in the description, but this tag is called the Choose Your Own Adventure Fantasy Characters tag, and it's super fun. There's a list of 9 questions about different types of characters that you find in fantasy, and you get to kind of choose which characters from the different fantasy books you've read. So this one was really hard for me because, as you know, I haven't read a whole lot of fantasy, so I tried to pick different books for each question. There's, I think, 2 repeats here. Some of them are stretched a little bit because of my experience in fantasy is so limited, but it was still fun to think about. And thank you again to Joanna for reaching out and asking us to do this with her. Quick note before I get into my answers on this tag. So there might be a couple, some brief spoilers, like very little spoilers, because it's hard to talk about any characters without saying anything. So if I'll put timestamps in the description below, and you can skip ahead if you don't want to know anything about the characters, but I just wanted to give that heads up because there may be slight spoilers here if you haven't read these books, because I can't just say the name of the character and not saying anything about it. It feels weird to me, so there might be a little bit of spoilers. Not a lot, definitely not a lot. Doesn't give hardly anything away, I don't think. But I just like to give that heads up just in case y'all know. So let's just get right into it. Question number 1, Fantasy Twin. Name a character you can relate to on a personal level. And for me, this is Elliot from The Magicians by Lev Grossman, and I don't necessarily know exactly what it was about Elliot, but I just felt like I just attached to that character. I related to like everything he said, even if I didn't experience the same thing. I just could relate to him so much. I loved Elliot. He was my favorite character in the whole series, and I just felt like I could relate to Elliot so much. Question number 2, Hero. Name a character you aspire to be like. And for me, this is Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is actually kind of a cheat because I haven't read the Lord of the Rings books yet, but I'm going to be reading them in, I think, March. We're doing a buddy read with Alan at Library of Alexandria. So, kind of a slight cheat. I just realized that now, but still, Samwise Gamgee. I love Samwise. He is like the best friend that you always want to have, and he's so great. Everyone should aspire to be like Samwise Gamgee. Even Alan, who dislikes Samwise and all hobbits, should aspire to be more like Samwise Gamgee. Question number 3, Champion. Name a character you would want to be your champion in a duel. And for this, I chose the book Le Morte d'Arthur by Thomas Malory, and it's been a really long time since I read that. And later this month, I'll be reading Once and a Future King by T.H. White, which also deals with the Arthurian legend. But for me, I would say Merlin, and I don't remember if Merlin was actually in Le Morte d'Arthur or not, but Merlin and Arthur go hand in hand, so when you have Arthur, you have Merlin. And so I pick Merlin for this because Merlin is the best champion ever. Number 4, Unlikable Character. Name a character you love to hate. And for me, I didn't necessarily hate this character, but I didn't like her at all. And that's Rin from The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And everyone says Rin is the most unlikable character there is, so this was an easy pick for me. Like I said, I didn't really hate Rin, but I didn't like her at all, really. Number 5, Tavern Buddy. Name a character you would want to have a drink with, and this for me was the easiest one, the first one that I thought of. That's Kelsier from Mistborn: The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. I just loved Kelsier so much. Oh my gosh, I just wanted to have Kelsier by me at all times in my life, and definitely have a drink with. He just seemed like the most fun guy ever. I love Kelsier so much. I miss Kelsier. And number 6, villain. Name a character you wouldn't want to cross paths with. And for me, this one was really hard because I don't necessarily think of a lot of characters as villains per se. They're just, you know, not good guys. But I chose, and I didn't want to go with like the cliche of Lord Voldemort or, you know, Mordor from Lord of the Rings, you know, those kinds of people. So I chose the Dark One from The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, which, as you know, if you've seen my other vlogs, I am currently reading that right now, so I don't even know what really happens with the Dark One. But at a part where I've just got to, I think it was yesterday or the day before that, the Dark One, we learned, was able to like infiltrate Rand's dreams or whatever, or maybe Rand just dreamed it. I'm not sure yet. I haven't read far enough to really see what's going on. But he just like broke rats' backs with his mind, and I definitely would not want to mess with anyone with that kind of power. Number 7, mentor. Name a character you would want to learn from or have as a mentor. And for me, there was a couple different options for this, but the most obvious to me was Sazid from the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. This is my repeat book trilogy. I just love Sazid so much, and he was such a great mentor to Finn, and I want everything that Sazid knows. I want all of his secrets. I just want to learn from Sazid throughout life. That's my life goal, my fantasy life goal. There it is. Make that a thing. Make that a hashtag now. Fantasy life goals. Let me know what your fantasy life goals are in the comments. I love to start this as a thing. On with the questions. There's only 2 more, so bear with me. Number 8, Samwise. Name a character who you could trust with your life. And for me, this is Hagrid from Harry Potter. We know that Hagrid is clumsy and gives away information he shouldn't, but if Dumbledore trusts Hagrid with his life, then I can trust Hagrid with my life. And I just love the character of Hagrid. He's got such good intentions, and he just wants to help. And he wants everyone to get along. So Hagrid, I would totally trust Hagrid with my life. And the last question, found family. If you could adopt one character or offer a home, who would it be? And this is one of the ones that I kind of stretched a little bit, just because I love this character so much. I wanted to fit him in here. And that's Errol from Guards Guards, and he is my favorite dragon ever. I love him so much. He is so cute, and I just want to bring him home and have him as a pet. Obviously, we can't have dragons as pet because we're not in fantasy books, but another fantasy life goal is to have Errol as my pet. And also, going back to number 7, the mentor question, an honorable mention for me is also Professor Lupin from Harry Potter. I just love Professor Lupin. He is my favorite character in the whole series, and I would love to learn Defense Against the Dark Arts from him, and just all life secrets. He was so great. I loved him so much. But that's it for now, and let me check my notes really quick. Hold on one second, because I'm supposed to be tagging a couple people in here because this is a tag. So tag your it, Alicia, Evie, Erica from Geeklit Reads. You all are tagged. Go on, go forth and do your questions. This was so much fun. Thank you again, Johanna. Check out everyone's channels in the description below, and let me know your answers to these questions in the comments. And also, don't forget, let me know what your fantasy life goals are in the comments, and make that a thing. Tell all your friends. Fantasy life goals. I love you all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and keep reading. Bye.